What is going on, everybody? My name is General Mittens and welcome to a different kind of video. I've done a few of these before, but this is kind of new for some of these new subscribers that I've gained. Basically, in this video, I'm going to be going over not just my first impressions, but my overall impressions of the Battlefield Hardline beta. Now, for some of you long-time viewers, you will know that I actually quit Battlefield 4 because I thought it was complete and utter wank. It really was. It was broken. I was getting lag spikes. I was getting shot through walls. It was a broken piece of shit. And I think it still is a broken piece of shit. But basically, I quit that. I put up a video why. And I haven't really played it since. I haven't played a Battlefield game since then. Just because it's just left such a bad taste in my mouth. And in that video, I said, I hope that EA don't try to fix this by throwing out Battlefield 5. And I said that around 2015 they'll probably throw out Battlefield 5, and I still stick to that, or you know, an equivalent of Battlefield 5. But this year we're getting a new Battlefield, which I really didn't expect. I did not expect a new Battlefield to come out this soon. It's not even going to be a year that Battlefield 4 is going to be out when this game comes out. This is coming out, I think it's coming out like 21st of October. And Battlefield 4 came out like the 27th. That is ridiculous. Like, Battlefield 4 was broken. I mean, they've gotten an extra year to work with the new engine, but still, that's crazy. But something that I really liked that they did was they released the beta straight up. You know, it wasn't like a 2-week, you know, sort of 2 weeks before the game releases, because that's pointless. What's the point in having a beta? It was literally just to draw people in to, you know, get last-minute pre-orders. Whereas now, they've released it, like, literally right now. It's open beta. Everyone should, like, basically, I'm just saying right now, everyone should go out and try it for themselves. I'm not going to tell you whether it's, you know, whether it's right for you or if it's wrong for you. Just go out and try it, because that's the best thing you can possibly do, especially seeing as it's open beta. I'm not sure what platforms it's on. I know it's on PC, but I'm not sure about any other platforms. I think it actually might just be PC, but either way, just go out and try it, see if you like it, and then get your impressions from that. Now, before I start this video, I'd just like to say my opinions on the game. I just like to put them out there right now. I don't like this beta. I really don't. I don't think the game's much of an improvement on Battlefield 4. That's just my opinions, but I don't feel how this is a new game. You know, this could have very well easily been an expansion pack, just like Bad Company 2 Vietnam. I would have been happy with that. I would have been fine with it, because it's enough to be a good expansion pack, because they fixed some of the issues that were in Battlefield 4, but some of the issues are still there, however. But it would have been a good expansion pack, and yet they're asking for another $60 American, $100 Australian, that kind of thing. Apparently it's like 50 quid in the UK, which is ridiculous, because games are usually about 40. So yeah, I'm not really happy with that. So this is probably going to be a little bit biased towards the hating on Battlefield, because I don't like Battlefield 4. I don't like the way it plays, and this plays very much like Battlefield 4. You'll get the people who say, what, this isn't even Battlefield 4.5, this is a new Battlefield. It's not, really. I mean, it's a better improvement than what, say, something like Call of Duty does. I mean, you know, there's completely new maps, completely new features and stuff, but it just feels like Battlefield 4, and that's not necessarily a good thing. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start with my detailed opinions. First thing I'm going to talk about is the menus, and this goes for not just the, you know, sort of the server menus, but also the heads-up display. I personally think they look too plain. Battlefield always has this thing where the menus always look like they have LEDs behind them. So, you know, your heads-up display would be bright, or, you know, the menus would be bright. Something will have, you know, this sort of effect to it. In Battlefield 4, it's a little bit more toned down, so you can actually read your, you know, your bloody ammo count. But still, they sort of had this style to it, and it was really cool. It had this sort of style of font that was very Battlefield-like. But now they've sort of gone to a flat font. I don't even know what it's called, but it's basic, it's flat. It reminds me of the menus from Amazing Spider-Man 2, how, you know, they sort of look like a dev build, like sort of placeholder images, and I hope to God that these are placeholder images for the main menus, but they just look too flat and boring, and the heads-up display doesn't, you know, it's not really that intriguing, especially the cash thing. It's just this, it's a block of green that says this is your cash limit, and it doesn't really appeal to me. Now, going off the menus, we're going to go talk about the graphics, because Battlefield is all known about the graphics. Now, for some of you who played the Battlefield 4 beta, you might notice that the graphics were improved, surprisingly, seeing as they had like 2 weeks to do it. Because in Siege of Shanghai, the road looked like it was made out of chalk in the beta, but in the final game it looked fine. So I'm hoping that's what's happening with this game. But the graphics don't seem to have improved at all. In fact, in some areas they look like they've gone down a bit, and I don't know whether that was to make the game work or just because they didn't have enough time to build models and stuff. But yeah, for a game that's, you know, or for a series that's all about the graphics, I'm personally not that much of a graphics whore. I like having good looking games, but to be, you know, I won't be affected that much by, you know, not enjoying a game if it doesn't have good graphics. I mean, I enjoyed Titanfall, and that had, you know, pretty mediocre graphics, but you know, for a series that's all about the graphics, it's nothing special. Now, going on from graphics, another thing that Battlefield is known for is the destruction, and here the destruction is even more minimal than what was in Battlefield 4. Now, this could just be because of the map. We are in like a LA city, so it's just buildings over buildings, and you can't really, you know, topple a skyscraper with C4, but it's not really that impressive. It's just you can ride through the barriers on the road and, you know, smash through signs, but they don't break up. It's like they're, you know, you're just disconnecting objects from objects. They don't actually get destructed, you know, like, it doesn't, I don't even think destructed is a word, but still, you know, that they don't have that sort of edge that they, you know, the sort of fine-tuning that they did in, like, Bad Company 2, where you could actually see the pieces of rubble come off. It's like, it doesn't matter where you place the C4 on a wall, it's going to blow the same hole in the wall. And then you get a game like Rainbow Six Siege that comes out of the blue just after about 6 years. And the Rainbow Six series is known for, like, tactical gameplay, and that's really about it. That's all I think that it's really known for, is just being a tactical shooter. And then Rainbow Six Siege comes along, and they have some of the most advanced destruction I have seen in a game, where you can literally blow individual holes in the wall with each individual bullet. Like, that is, it's not just set places on the wall, it's literally just real-time rendering of where the destruction is. And it removes certain parts of the hitbox too, so it's not like you can blow a hole in the wall but you still can't shoot through it because the game still thinks there's a hole there. You know, it works, and it just, seeing that, like, the first game in a series have such good destruction, and seeing Battlefield 4, which has had, like, what, now 4 games, 5 if you count Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam or whatever, that have had this destruction, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And I think the real reason for this is because the setting has got closer and closer to skyscrapers, and, you know, really you can't do much with skyscrapers in terms of destruction. Now, moving on from destruction, we have something called Levolution, which was in Battlefield 4. Personally, I liked it for, you know, the first 3 or 4 times I saw it on a map, because it was, you know, it was something new. It was pretty game-changing in certain maps. Some maps it was pretty bad and pretty pointless, especially that, what was it called? The, I think it's Zavod 311, where this pipe falls in the middle of a building area, and that's it. Like, it's nothing special. Or like, what was it? It was like Go Umag Railway, where you can blow up a building. You know, like, it didn't make sense, but this one, you have a crane that falls down and basically just rips chunks out of a building. It looks awesome. It's sort of like Siege of Shanghai, where you saw the building just get completely wrecked. But it's just, after seeing it in Battlefield 4 and seeing what Levolution really was, and that it was just, you know, a linear same thing after, you know, over and over and over again, where you just get the same pieces of rubble falling from the same areas onto the same piece of ground. It sort of gets very mundane and boring. I don't see it really adding anything to the game anymore. I remember watching the Battlefield 4 trailer going, wow, that's crazy. So it's like seeing the skyscraper actually come down like that. I thought you could do it to every skyscraper in the map. No, it's a set little thing where you have to shoot certain parts of the building for it to happen. So sometimes you'd logically think, alright, maybe if I like cop it in the middle of the building, half of it's going to fall over. No, you have to get the bloody supports. So it's very linear and set out for you, and it's not really that fun. Now, going on to glitches. Now, I know this is just a beta, but there's glitches nonetheless, and that's what a beta is for pointing out glitches, so I'm going to point them out. Here in this clip, I'm not sure if I've played this in this video yet, because I will have to repeat some pieces of footage, but here is like a clip of me throwing a grenade over this concrete thing to an enemy over the other side. I get up and sprint away, and I die, and I think I died because of the bloody armoured SUV. But on the kill feed, it says that I killed myself with my grenade, when clearly you could see the grenade indicator get smaller and smaller, indicating that it's, pissed off Southside somewhere. So, I don't know what was happening there. I don't know if you can pick up grenades in this game. I don't think you can, but it killed me nonetheless, so that was weird. But some of the more sort of frequent glitches that I've basically come into contact with was getting stuck in walls, and I think this has something to do with the field of view, because I have my field of view cranked right up. You can see it in a few other clips where I have a riot shield, and literally like the riot shield takes up about half of my screen space when it's supposed to take up all of it. That's just sort of puts it into perspective, but like every now and then I'd run close to a wall and I can actually see through it, and then I wouldn't really get stuck in it, but I'd feel like I'm sort of magnetized to it slightly, like I'd have to pull away, like it's sort of a cover system. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but that happens every time I run near a wall. I feel like I'm sort of guided towards it, like in Assassin's Creed when you're walking around a building and you get to the edge of a building. It doesn't feel that free. So I don't know what's happening with that, but that's just a little glitch that I think I should probably point out. Now, something they have improved over Battlefield 4 is the vehicle physics. Now, this is one of their big selling points is, oh, the vehicles work, and yeah, they're fun. They work a lot better than what they did in Battlefield 4 because they actually collide properly, but still there's the issues of, like, getting slowed down because you're scraping a little bit on the side instead of just taking off and, ripping off the quarter panel or whatever. It's still it's still Battlefieldy, like, you still can't look around in third-person view, that kind of thing. Yeah. It works, it's an improvement, but I think they could have done a lot more. Now, adding on to vehicles, there isn't a lot of like jets or tanks or anything. The only real attack vehicle on the ground is this armoured SUV thing, and that thing is a powerhouse. You see this clip probably at the start of the video where I just went on a rampage. I only killed about 5 people, but like, that was a rampage for me, not playing Battlefield for ages. I was like, holy crap, I'm on a roll. And I really was. I was just popping people left, right, and center. It was ridiculous. They're way too overpowered, especially when they're sort of camping in your base and you're trying to drop the cash off, and they just sit there going, boop, 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 dead, boop, 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 dead. Like it sort of takes away from the fun. I've always really had a nasty side towards vehicles. I've never really liked the offensive vehicles because they always felt like they were overpowering. I think the main reason for that is I've known that I have no way of combating it, especially because I hardly play as engineer. But, like, I don't know how to fix that. That's one thing that I really don't know how they can fix it, because I know the idea of having offensive vehicles works in a Battlefield game. It's just, I always feel like I'm screwed whenever I'm next to one. And I mean, that's the sort of feeling that they're trying to go for. But, like, it's almost every time I'm alive in a Battlefield game, I come across a vehicle that tries to pop me, Maybe decrease the amount of vehicles in the game, like the offensive ones. Or I'm all for support vehicles, that's fine. But, like, offensive vehicles, I don't know, they feel too sort of... I think there's just too much of them. Maybe just decrease it. I'm really not sure how to fix that. That's one of the pressing issues that I have with this game, is I'm not sure, how they can combat that. Now, throughout my 2.5 matches that I took to record this footage, there was this sort of fight going on in the side chat, and it was just like, it was like a text-based Call of Duty adventure. It really was. It was just, look at your KD. It's like, well, it's not about the KD, it's about the points. It's like, well, I have a bigger dick, so shut up. It's like, seriously? This is, oh my god. This is what Battlefield has come to. You see EA, you see what you've done, is that you've tried to appeal to the Call of Duty audience, and look what's happened. There's people like that in the side chat. Now, I'm not saying that all Call of Duty players are like that, but you know, you tend to find them in Call of Duty more so than you do in Battlefield, but now it looks like it's sort of evening up. You know, you could play 3 games in Battlefield, 3 games in Call of Duty, you won't know the difference, because there'll be the same people screaming in your ear or typing inside chat. I don't know, it was just sort of, it made me realise how much they sort of pushed the Call of Duty audience to buy their game, and I know it's all for the money, but it just sort of ruined it, so that's just another reason why I didn't really enjoy my experience. That's nothing to do with the developer's fault, it's more so the marketing, that it's appealing to people like that, really. I'm not going to say Call of Duty players, because that's sort of, you know, discriminatory, but, yeah, or you know, it's sort of picking out people, but people like that, it's, you know, they're marketing towards that, because they know they're going to buy everything for the game, so that's just a little nitpick that I have. Another issue I have with this game is camping. Now, you see me do some of it in a few little clips, and that was because I'm not generally a camper in Battlefield. I just wanted to test out how easy it was to camp, and I managed to spawn on a mate in a helicopter. I ditched it, and I basically grabbed the zip line, went over to another building, and popped a few people. There was a sniper dude who was trying to get me. I popped him. He came back, tried to get me again. I popped him back. And then he tried to get me the 3rd time. I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore, so I just parachuted off. It was too easy, I think, to sort of camp up there. And that's not even the best spot in the game. Like, you see it a lot. I get killed from basically up top near where the cash depot is. And people just hide up there and just pop anyone that comes in. Like, I know it's meant to be for, you know, defensive purposes, but people, like, they run up there at the start of the game, don't go for the cash, except they run up onto the top, guard from any enemy players trying to get up there, and then just shoot everyone trying to grab the cash. It's like, Battlefield has really good objective, you know, based modes. Not in this game, because I don't really enjoy them, but generally they have really good objective based modes, and people still think it's all about the kills. You know, this is more of an issue with the player base, more so than the game, but it ruins the game, really, it does. So, yeah, that was just something that I didn't really enjoy. Now we get the age-old glitch in the Frostbite engine, and that is sound disappears. You hear it at this clip here, where the Mustang is, or police car or whatever, I'm driving along and there's nothing, no sound, nothing. There's a few little, you know, background noises that come with the map, but that's about it. So that's still there, although it did disappear, or, you know, sound reappeared after a while, so that was good, but it's still there. Now in this clip here, you see me spotting a guy, and then all of a sudden I see the top of his head, and then he pops me through the wall. So obviously on his screen he had his gun above the actual you know, the wall, but on our screen, because we see a slightly different, you know, animations and all that, because if you put the animations of the actual model onto the first person perspective, it will look weird. So I obviously saw a different perspective. I saw his gun was actually pointing towards the wall, but still he shot me because on his screen he was looking above the wall. So it's sort of that, what do you call it, like head glitching, I think it's called. I'm not sure how to fix that. I watched a video on it by, I think it was Jack Frags or Matt the Musketeer or something, but they did a video on it and said that it was, you know, it would have been pretty hard to fix, so I completely agree with that. But that's just, it's a little annoyance that comes with that. You know, I didn't really, I haven't really come across that before in a game. I don't know, maybe I've just been lucky, but that was just, you know, it sort of annoyed me. And then there's another clip where I get shot behind a wall, mainly because it's an explosive, but it's still there, and I still sort of glitched back a little bit, so that reminded me of Battlefield 4. However, it wasn't as bad as Battlefield 4. You know, I didn't glitch back as far, so I guess they fixed that. Another thing I'd just like to point out is that the spotting feature doesn't always work. I can't really show you how it doesn't work on camera because I'm pressing Q, but you can't hear me pressing Q, you know. So there's a few instances where I'd press Q and it wouldn't spot them, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if that's just the beta, but yeah. So overall, those are my detailed impressions of the game. This has been quite a long video, so I do apologise for that, but I had a lot to talk about. I wanted to sort of mention as much as I can. So So what are your thoughts? If you wanted to leave a comment down below, that'll be greatly appreciated. I love to hear what you guys think about the game. As I said in the start of the video, is just try out the beta for yourself. You know, I've given my opinions, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to like it, so definitely go ahead and try it out. Although, I sort of have a pet hate towards EA at the moment, so, yeah, buy it at your own risk. You know, it could be good in the beta and then come out and be a huge flop. You never know, because this is just 2 game modes and 1 map, so buy it at your own risk. But anyway, that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching this video. I probably won't be putting out that many Battlefield videos in the future because I really don't play that much. I've only got Battlefield 4 and the Battlefield Hardline beta on my PC. I've also got Battlefield 3, but I don't think anyone plays that anymore, so unfortunately, I can't bring any Battlefield gameplay to you guys. But anyway, check out my channel for videos that you might like and hit the subscribe button if you do like them. That'll be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for watching this video once again. My name is General Mittens, and I'll see you in the next video.